Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, January 30th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I have the first two cards in our 5-card spread? First two cards we are starting our day off with today. 4 of Cups in its upright, in combination with our Temperance card in its reversal. We're going to talk a little bit about this pickiness that's coming through right now with this energy. Because I keep telling you guys, this type of energy is all about the refinement of manifestation goals. I'm going to say the same thing. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but we go through these energetic cycles and we have these windows of time where we're working on certain lessons. And so everything I keep seeing as it relates to a lot of this energy right now keeps on articulating to me. It's not picky unless it's important. It's not picky unless it's important. Why do we keep having that message coming through as it relates to it's not picky unless it's important? Because this is how we identify our manifestations. We've been talking a lot about this. Welcome to this shift. We shifted the shift from Pluto out of Capricorn into Aquarius. A good manifestation is not about getting a prize at the end of something, right? It's not about getting something. It's about who one is on the journey of moving towards it. So I keep on seeing that a lot of this energy, if you're feeling frustrated right now, if you're feeling that difficulty focusing, or that feeling of like something like akin to splitting hairs and getting mad at yourself for splitting hairs, or trying to work through situations or circumstances that don't feel energetically ideal, welcome to the vibe. Because a lot of this here, it's not, and I'm going to tell you, and adding to this, and it's also difficult because there's something about working through frustration that's also happening right now. And we've been talking a lot about this. This is everybody getting a little bit of a work as it relates to something that Aquarians often have to navigate in their own journeys, which is when we are working in the space of our ideals, right? We often have to have those experiences where we look around ourselves and we feel like things are not ideal. What does one do when one does not feel like a situation or circumstance is not ideal, right? And that's why I was reminding you guys, I know that there's this inclination right now to just want to move into an escapist fantasy realm. Like just sail away, Just again, in my dreams, everything is perfect. That's the Aquarian energy, okay? Because that Aquarian energy, we often experience it. What's beautiful about Aquarian energy? It is inventive. It is profound. It is expansive. It can see the world of possibility, but a challenge space that often Aquarians have to navigate is not feeling like reality is sullying the dream, right? Not looking at reality like a pesky nuisance, but rather a place where new possibilities could open, right? Because that space of expansion, what happens? And this is what it talks a lot about, having to be able to have an ideal, but also being adaptable. Because when we become too rigid in our ideals, we become righteous. And when we become righteous, we become blind, because we see something and we want something to be so much that we focus so hard on it that we can't see the possibilities that are expanding around us, right? This is why when we're working in a space of manifestation, it's important to remember what is important versus what is adaptable, right? Because when we're working towards a manifestation, it shouldn't feel like so much like us saying, I want, so much as it should feel like an act of collaboration with the universe where we say, show me, right? Show me the way. Show me how to find that space, right? It's not so much about putting that force of action in, so much as it is also about opening one's eyes to being able to see how it is coming towards you. And so that's why we see this is why this could feel like a little bit of that force energy, right? I got to check where Taurus is right now, because there's a lot of this energy. Like I feel like I keep on getting this energy, the energy deep within divine union. I keep on feeling is trying to force a breakthrough right now, but they're trying to force a breakthrough within the self, right? Like that's the thing. There's a lot of this energy within divine union, right? And that's what we do when we navigate, like, oh, thank you. Like when we navigate like like when we get mad at ourselves, right? That's what happens when we get mad at ourselves, when we get frustrated. We feel like we're trying to force a breakthrough. If you're deep within divine union right now and you're feeling like that, go take a walk. Okay? Go take a walk. Get your mind off of it. Allow there to be that moment of coming into that space. Because I'm telling you right now, often when we're trying to force something, right? We like it's in that we've all had these moments. You're like, you're drilling away at something. You're drilling away at something. You can't like it's like it's escaping you and you're pushing on it. And then you go get your mind off of something. What happens? Bing. You know what I mean? Like bing. Like, oh, you just sometimes you need to step back to move forward. And this is that type of energy right now, right? It's a little bit of like stepping away from the canvas kind of energy, right? Because when you're so like that, it's hard to see something. So I keep on hearing a lot of this energy deep within divine union that's saying, help me see, right? And this has a lot to do because if these are the energies that are working on intimacy, I told you it's like junk drawer energy. It's like throwing everything on the table and looking and trying to find a new system. Well, that's how we heal wounds of intimacy. When we have feelings that we cannot articulate or place, we create new systems for them. So this is how you can use this energy that I know is really, really frustrating right now in productive ways. Allow the frustration to fuel you into breakthroughs. But that's why I'm warning you right now. If this is a time, like if you're doing something right now that feels more provocative, like you're just pulling on a thread because it's there, because I'm telling you, there's a little bit of that, it would feel so good to annoy kind of energy here too. You might end up moving forward and stepping back in the process. So just be mindful of that because there's a lot of this type of energy here. Be intentional. Okay. Now for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union, that's, I mean, I feel that I feel like the biggest hurdle for a lot of the energy coming into divine union right now is navigating an overwhelm, right? Because I see some energy right now that's just like there's a lot of clarity that's coming through. So I want you to chill out. I want to say this. I mean this with all the love in my heart for energy coming into divine union. Embrace it. If there's anxiety that's rising up around something, move it into joy. Because elation can sometimes feel, I want to say this in the best way possible. Elation can sometimes feel delirious, right? If we're not navigating it like in a healthy way, in a healthy way. So I'm just saying even now, like if you're feeling a lot of that intensity, I want you to slow things down right now. I want you to remember you always have the capacity within you to feel the things that you're feeling. Sometimes it feels like you're not. And I need to point out, and it's very interesting right now. There's something about meditation that keeps coming in right now for the energy coming into divine union, because it's that remembering that sometimes meditation, there isn't just one way of meditating. You can have a meditation where you just sit and remember, like you say, I am safe in myself to feel, I have enough room to feel the things I'm feeling. I have enough room in myself to feel the things I'm feeling. This is how we often find a point of stillness, because when we're able to sit with the things we're feeling, it's almost like that moment that we feel that energetic expansion point, because we find our arms, like our ethereal arms are large enough to hold the things that we're feeling. So if you're going through that right now, like find healthy, productive ways to ground the energy, because this is often what happens when we have shifts into frequency. It's like the high frequency can feel like it can feel intense. It can feel emotional, right? And a lot of that is because I just keep seeing that's a lot of that energy that is seeing something in a different way. And it's like navigating the enormity of the emotions as they move into divine union. While for masculine and feminine energy right now that is in separation, I just see that a lot of the energy in separation right now is doing very, I'm going to tell you, doing very much the same thing that I just articulated. And this is a good sign. I'm going to tell you right now, when I see energy in separation doing a lot of the same work, thank you, alignment. Thank you for that planetary alignment. When I see a lot of the energy doing the same work as the energy deep within, coming into divine union, that usually is indicative of a lot of energy that is like, I keep on seeing that energy. And this is the thing about it. I see a lot of energy in separation right now saying, I'm not ready. And in that moment, they're ready. Why am I saying that? Why is there a paradox there? Because what did I say this energy is about? When we're moving into a space of ideal, we never feel ready. We never feel prepared. We always feel like we are a mess. And then we remind ourselves that we are a work in progress. So I just keep seeing that there's a lot of energy that is in separation right now and acknowledging that they're holding on to something. But in the moment that they're acknowledging that they're holding on to something, and again, they recognize that they let go of it, but they don't recognize they have to let go of it. They just need to open their arms wider. Thank you, alignment. It's bringing a lot of these messages through from the energy within divine union, almost directly into the energy in separation. And that's why what is the higher self saying to a lot of that energy in separation? Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. I'm your higher self. Like that's why the energy, that's why the higher self says, take all the time you need. I'm just glad you hear me. The energy that understands that they're already becoming that person. They can already hear the version of themselves that has moved into the space of being energetically okay and letting that go. Right? Like there's something really profound that's happening right now for some of the energy in separation. And a lot of it, I see some other energy in separation right now. And again, working through something that isn't feeling the way that they expected. And I see some of that energy going, and I told you, is this picky or is it important? Is it picky or is it important? Why are they doing that? Because they're trying to articulate and understand if something they're holding on to is coming from the ego versus the higher self. And I'm going to say it again. What's a good way to interpret whether something's coming from the ego or the higher self? What is the higher, when you ask the ego, why is it important? Why do you need it to be that way? What does the ego say? Because I want it that way. like the ego says, I want it that way. The ego says, and it doesn't, that's not an explanation, right? The ego the ego insists. Right? The ego insists, right? What does the higher self say? Sit down. You got a minute? I'll walk you through it. I'll tell you exactly why. You got some time? I'll talk to you all day about it. We'll spend the rest of our lives amplifying why I'm holding on to it, right? Like that is how we find ourselves. Again, a good manifestation is not about what you receive. It's who you become on the journey towards it. Center card in our 5-card spread for today is we've got here our 7 of Wands in its upright. It's annoying. And I know. Listen to me. I know it's annoying. I know. And I know right now that like, I'm telling you, this is everybody feeling like this double burst of Aquarian energy with Pluto in Aquarius and also coming out of this Aquarius new moon. Reality is not annoying. Dream is the testing space. And that's what you have to remember. Dream is the testing space for being able to bring things into reality. So yeah, if everything's energetically ideal in dreams, it's also because it's not tangible, right? Like that's the thing. Like, of course things are better. The ideal, and we have to work through this right now. And we listen, I'm telling you right now, I'll like talk to Aquarians about this. This is something that is often has to be worked through with Aquarian energy. Not feeling like not looking at like reality like a lead balloon, right? Not looking at reality as something that is gross or something that is sullying the ideal, right? Coming into that space of understanding that the messiness that we find in reality can often have its own breakthroughs. There are things that we cannot imagine in dreams that we only see when we bring them into reality. So this is that moment, like a lot of this work that I see that's having in relationality across all of the frequencies is trying to ground like dreams into reality, working through that right now. Like all of those, all the energies and all the frequencies. Do you see how all of these lessons are connected? And that's why it has to do with breakthroughs right now, right? What is a lot of the work? What is the breakthrough that a lot of the energy and separation is working through? What they're trying to let go versus what they need to hold on to. That's the energy that almost feels like they're doing that because they recognize that they're moving forward on their journey. Like this is the energy that in the moment that they're holding on or letting go, what they really realize, like I can hear their higher self saying, they're packing. They're already doing it. They're already in the process of moving towards their manifestation because they recognize that moving towards manifestations is moving. And so they're energetically packing what they're taking and what they're not as they continue forward on that journey. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, coming into divine union, this is the energy that's finding, that's finding all of this space. This is the energy that's recognizing that they don't need to let go of anything. They just need to open their arms wider. And that's why I keep on seeing the energy that's like opening their arms to the enormity of experiences, both positive and negative, because I see a lot of that energy experiencing the letting go of the old dream and embracing the new one. While for masculine and feminine energy, that is deep within divine union, this is the most annoying. This is where it feels most annoying right now because I see a lot of this energy. It has something to do with Tauruses right now, trying to push through, getting mad at one's own self, like wanting to like push one's own self to have a breakthrough. So be gentle with walls right now. I don't want you taking that type of energy out. like remember and this is why I told you, be careful, right? Because this type of energy, there's a lot of force behind it. And that type of force, when we're frustrated, right? We can figure out how to get out of our own way. But sometimes we can use that force in a way that sets us backwards if we're operating more from the place of the ego, right? Fourth and fifth card in our 5-card spread for today are, come on out. Oh my goodness. We have here our 10 of Swords in its upright and our King of Wands in its upright, right? So I told you, this is like trying to have breakthroughs up here type of energy, right? So if you're feeling frustrated at yourself, I want you to remember that frustration is because you hold yourself to a high standard. And I got to tell you, it's really frustrating because when we're moving from our heart space, it almost always feels like we're failing in that endeavor, right? Because when we move towards a higher standard, we can be very hard on ourselves. So and this type of energy right now, I'm telling you, like this Uranus energy, it's like, it can be like nails on the chalkboard, but it's like nails on the chalkboard of the self, like getting very frustrated that one isn't better. I want you to imagine that you're perfect. And I want you to imagine that maybe perfection is not feeling like you're perfect. Maybe perfection is the moment of trying to reach towards perfection and always feeling like one is stumbling on that journey. So we just see even now, like that's what I hear a lot of the energy deep within divine union saying to one another, right? Getting frustrated at the self. And I keep hearing this energy say, I'm a mess. And what is the counterpart saying? Not to me, you aren't. I wish you could see yourself through my eyes. I wish for a moment you could see yourself through my eyes, right? While for a lot of this energy, that's why I keep on hearing, for a lot of the energy coming into divine union right now, it feels like a veil's lifted, right? Because a lot of the energy, and that's why the energy is saying, I can't believe my eyes. Why is the energy saying, I can't believe my eyes? Because this is a lot of the energy that's they're feeling their manifestation coming towards them in a way that they never expected. Because when we're moving towards a healthy manifestation, what do we say? We don't say to the universe, I demand this. We say, help me see it, right? Help me see it. And so this is the energy that says, I can hear some of this energy saying, I see it. Like I see it. Like I see, they're right. And that's why they're right in front of me. Like it's that type of energy being like, oh, like, and that's why I keep on seeing that energy, like opening their arms more because they couldn't see it before. Right. So while for masculine and feminine energy and separation right now, this feels more profound. Right. Because I just see a lot of this energy in separation I keep hearing some of this energy say they looked like my manifestation, right? I keep seeing that is happening right now for some of the energy in separation, looking at something from the past and saying, but that looked like everything that I energetically wanted. And what is the higher self saying? Did it feel like that? Did it feel like everything you wanted, or did it look like everything you wanted? Because those are different things, right? So those moments or those modalities, like this is how we heal. And that's why I see even now there's some of this energy, like it feels rough, it feels painful, but that's the energy that I told you. Even now I see some energy in separation moving into an energetic grieving process, because I almost see the energy saying it looked the way I thought it would, but it never felt the way I thought it should. And in that moment, they start to heal because they recognize what is the core of their manifestation, as opposed to something that felt extraneous, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Four of Cups in combination to our Temperance card in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. There's a lot of karmic release that I see that's happening right now. And I need to point this out. Right? Karmic release does not mean you stop caring. What kind of world would it be? Do you think that there's really a healing journey where you go, it's great, I don't care about that person at all anymore. It's so great. I am so healed. I can't stand that person. Wow, really sounds like you've healed. No, that's not a healing journey, right? Like that's not a healing journey. What part of that feels like healing? No, right? A healing journey, when we really heal, we understand, right? We hold space for hard truths. We navigate the things that we desire to see versus the things that were reality. And sometimes those moments, they can feel very bittersweet because we take acknowledgement for what was our portion of it versus something that we experienced. And that doesn't mean we walk a line, right? It doesn't mean that we look back and say, I sucked. Everything that ever happened sucked. And it was all my fault. God, I'm not worthy. No, we don't do that. We also don't come into that space of saying everybody else sucked. Everybody else sucked. I was perfect. Those are not correct things, right? those are the same problem. Do you see? That is the ego leading one into a direction, right? A good healing journey is one where we got notes, right? We got notes. We learn lessons. We work through them. And so I keep on seeing a lot of the energy in separation. Like I almost see that energy going through those notes. But that's beautiful, right? Because they're navigating the complication. They're looking at something in a way that they're looking at it in a way and they're moving it into a space. And I keep on seeing the energy say, I don't need to let go of it. I need to understand it. Because when we understand something, we release it. But we don't release it. We release it because we're not stuck on it. We're not trapped trying to figure out why, right? So I just see a lot of that energy here working on understanding the nature, right? I told you, what is the energy doing? You have to think of a karmic connection like a knot. And so what did I tell you that this energy is doing? Is this the energy trying to cut the cord? No, they're trying to untangle the knot. And that doesn't mean fixing it. That might not mean fixing, because again, and if someone else doesn't want to untangle a cord, anything you do, you can sit there and unravel it. They're going to mess it back up again, right? Like he's like, what are you going to do? You understand the nature of it. And I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energy in separation that is ruminating over something, right? They're moving it through their hands or moving it through their fingers to understand the nature of it. Not so that they can let go, but so they can carry it better as they continue forward, right? And that's what bringing us to a lot of the energy right now that's coming into divine union. Because what did I say? Is this energy releasing stuff? They're letting go, but they're opening their arms, right? Their attention is going towards their intention, right? And so a lot of that energy saying, I'm ready. It's like when the moment they say they're ready, they're able to release the perception that may have felt like it was blocking their view, right? because they're able to recognize that what feels right, and potentially even something that they were waiting to feel right but looked right, is now before them. And that's why I keep on seeing this energy saying, I can't open my arms big enough to hold everything that I'm feeling, because that's a lot of the energy that's navigating the joy and grief of that journey. While for masculine and feminine right now, deep within divine union, this is just to show you this stuff is not qualitative, because I see that the energy right now, deep within divine union, wants to put their head through a wall. But they want to put a head through the wall, like they want to put their own head through the wall, because this is a lot of the energy I told you, navigating, working in the space of trying to heal intimacy, right? Getting hard on themselves in the process. And what is the counterpart saying? Go easy. Go easier on yourself, right? Like that's that space of healing. And this is a lot of that energy I see even now, that they're working on a lot of this stuff in the past, potentially, that made them feel like they were less than worthy. Continuing to get clarification. And this is why, because when we're in healthy partnership, what do we learn? We are always worthy. We come here worthy, right? We find connection and love in those who see that value and worth within us. Continuing to get clarification between temperance in its reversal in combination with our 7 of Wands in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now. Ace of Cups. There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of compassion here. There's a lot of emotionality, right? And this is something that often needs to be worked through right now, because here's the thing. When we are put in those spaces and we're told that our feelings are not well, when we get put in those spaces where we're told that our feelings are not healthy, we start to try to have healthy feelings, right? And that's where we start getting all of this shame and things of that nature, where we feel like everything we're given is a gift, right? And the value of a gift is how we put it forth. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of this energy, I told you, this is having to deal with all of this excessive Pisces energy that's surrounding partnership right now. Because I see a lot of this energy right now, and I got to say this, there's some energy in separation right now that's making the intentional choice in being in separation. Why is the energy making the intentional choice of being in separation? Because this is the energy that's saying to themselves, I'm not ready. But they also, I told you, some of this energy has been going through a moment with their higher self where they're like, the manifestation, they're right outside, aren't they? That person that's for me. It's like the next person I see. It's like that's going to, and that's why I keep on hearing the higher self say, take all the time you need. Take all the time you need. Because this is the energy that when they say they're not ready, do you understand? Do you see how they're not saying they're not ready because they feel that was the only place that love could come through? This is some energy in separation that can feel the presence of the love that's waiting for them. This is some energy in separation that can feel the presence of the love that's waiting for them. And in that moment that they say, I am not ready, they've already arrived, because they can already feel the presence of the love that's waiting for them. And so they're even here. I told you, this is why the higher self is going, they're ready, right? Like it's whenever you're like, that's why the higher self is like, whenever you're ready, but you're ready. like, while for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union, a lot of this work that we see that is for the energy coming into divine union right now, I just want to, the best way I can describe this is, I told you, everything feels like it's making a lot more sense, right? Like everything feels like this is a lot of the energy going, like everything feels like, like a lot of it making a lot more sense. So a lot of that, I told you, that's like that moment where we let go and we open our arms and go, it's like, and so a little bit about that, like I told you, it's like, there's a lot of excitement. So finding healthy ways to Like don't get carried away is what I'm hearing right now, because like that space of excitement or working through that, like I just keep on seeing it feels bubbly. It feels like elation. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, that's why I told you, like, this is the energy that like, it's like, it's more frustrating because this is the energy. And I got it because the best way to describe this is because like, there's like, it expands outwards. Do you understand? It expands outwards. So there's like a lot of this energy that I keep on seeing is trying to have a breakthrough in the self as it relates to seeing something in a different way or moving something into a different way, right? Like this is energy that's, I told you, it's like pardon our appearance kind of energy. It's renovation kind of energy, right? It's working on the self in such a way that you're reorganizing and either perceptions from the past or building into a relationship or articulating upon wounds of intimacy in ways that you haven't before. And it can feel, when we're doing that, it can feel very messy. But it's a good kind of messiness, because it's the messiness that you're like when you're building a new system, it often looks messy because you got to take everything out to put it back again, right? So there's a lot of that work that we're seeing here. Continuing to get clarification between our 7 of Wands in combination with our 10 of Swords in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Come on. Oh my gosh, pick. And here's the thing about, I was like expecting this card to come out. I want to tell you, like, the thing about this energy that can be, and this is why I do not want you behaving from a place of like navigating from an annoyance point, right? Because when we are annoyed, right? When we're reactive and annoyed, we do things, right? And you go, oh, I shouldn't have done that, right? Right? Like, like, oops, oh man, like, you know what I mean? Like when we don't, and frustration is feeling like you don't have an ability to contain what one is feeling. So if you're feeling like that, I want you to take a breath. And I'm not saying, you can utilize frustration in beautiful ways. Like Uranus energy often feels like frustration. That's the difficulty with it. It feels like nails on a chalkboard. It feels like that energy. It's like, you know what I mean? And so that's why I said even now, don't put it into a place that you're going to regret putting it. Okay? Don't let go of something right now because you're just feeling like that, that fire sale kind of energy. And then you're like, oh, I love that. Why did I do that? I was having it's that type of stuff, right? Be like, you utilize it in a way that feels like it pushes something forward, doesn't like break something. Because I'm telling you right now, there's just as this type of energy can be like in the midst of frustration, light bulb, boop, 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 like that kind of thing. Do. Like it can also be like, what have I done? You know what I mean? Like, because when you pull at something so much because you're just annoyed, you ever do that? Like you just like pulling it. Like I told you, you can unravel the sweater with this type of energy, or you can find the common thread. Continuing to get clarification between our 10 of Swords in its reversal in combination with our King of Wands in its upright. You see this? This is literally what I'm talking about here. Look at these cards. You can unravel, or you can find a common thread. Okay? Okay? One card to clarify, please. Yes. Clarification coming through right now with the Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. So make sure it makes sure that you are intentional with the places that you're putting a lot of that energy right now. Because I'll put it this way, like when we are swinging around wildly, right? We can sometimes knock down a foundational pillar. That's like the best way I can describe this right now. Right? When we're swinging around from a place of the ego, when we're swinging around from a place of frustration, when we're operating that space of saying, of doing something because it feels good to do it because we can knock down a pillar and bring everything like down in the process. So that space, but at the same time, when we are working in a space of being intentional and being energetically focused, when we can feel that frustration, sometimes it can move us into a space where we get out of our own way, right? Where we see something that we haven't seen before, where we land upon a moment that feels, that unifies us, right? And so everything I keep seeing here, that for a lot of this energy, for the energy in separation right now, this is one and the same work. This is why I keep hearing a lot of this energy in separation that says, and if I'm not ready to let go, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's having a different impact right now on masculine and feminine energy, because we're seeing here that I told you we haven't had court cards for a while now, but they're starting to pop back up. It's having the for feminine right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. This is almost a grieving process, right? This is almost the feminine energy being in that space of navigating and saying to themselves, it looked like whatever that was in the past that one desired, saying it looked like everything I wanted it to be. But what is the higher self saying to the feminine? Did it feel the way that you wanted it to feel? Right? Things can look like our manifestations, but the question isn't whether they look like our manifestations. The question is whether they feel like our manifestations, right? A good manifestation is how you feel on the journey, not what it looks like, right? While for masculine energy, we see a lot of the masculine energy potentially working on these experiences of the past and saying, that wasn't me, right? When masculine isn't in a place of embracing the vulnerability, it's like you're walking around with this like fake person all the time. You're introducing everybody to this fake person. You're having people fall in love with the fake person. It feels like you've got a blanket over your eyes because everywhere you go, that's not me. I hear the energy going, that wasn't me. That wasn't me, right? That sense or space of moving towards someone and just changing and becoming adaptable, whatever they want to be, whatever they think you think they want, right? And that's the energy of masculine saying, that may have been the thing I wanted, but it didn't feel like me inhabiting the space that I was to receive it, right? What's the point of having something if you can't be in your authenticity as you experience it? So we see even now both of these energies doing that work. Look how close to each other they are in separation. They're like reflecting pools. And we like to see them in this way because they're counterparts, you see? They're both working on the same things. While for masculine and feminine energy, look at this, counterparts. This is my person. This is the energy going, there they are. And what did they have to do? Right? What did they have to do? This is why it feels bittersweet, because this is the energy that it feels when we come into alignment, it feels like coming home. When we come into alignment, it feels like coming home. We say, there you are, I've been looking for you. Because there's a lot of that energy of the feminine that works in that space of saying, I never felt at home in those past experiences. Here I feel at home. With you, I don't need to try. That's not the feminine that says, I'm going to stop trying. Like, that's the feminine that says, I don't have to try to be something that I'm not. Right? And for masculine, this is the masculine that says, with you, I can be my authentic self. With you, we create that together. I told you, these are warrior energies that are coming together right now. They're embodying the characteristic of the confidence and the courage it takes to move towards someone in that authenticity and the strength that we find as we do so. While for masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union right now, this is the energy like working on that breakthrough. For feminine right now, it's trying to bring something into tangibility. I see feminine trying to move this energy like tangible right now, doing more things tangibly, right? Remembering, like working in that, like potentially trying to, I keep on seeing a lot of energy right now of feminine trying to get very focused and really kind of like I want to say this is a lot of that, like a lot of this space of letting go of what's not necessary is where some of this breakthrough is coming through, right? For masculine, it feels a lot more like trying to reach for an idea or reach for an ideal. But again, I remember this is together. Like, look at this. You see why this is magician energy? Why is this magician energy? We talked about this yesterday, because what does the magician do, right? The magician reaches up and the magician holds down. So again, reaching up to the ideal, bringing it into reality does not mean changing everything in the process. It's working in harmony with the universe and saying, "Help me see the way to bring my dream into the reality, but not sully it on the way and not feel like the world around me sullies it in the process." So like again, like the two energies in counterpart become like magician energy, because they're both working on the mutual lessons of trying to reach for the ideal and bring it into the point of tangibility. Continuing to get clarification between our Six of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Ace of Cups in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Five of Swords in its upright. Now, you know, the thing about this right now, and I'm telling you right now, like, now is not the time to be holding on to the past in bitter ways. I'm just going to put it like that. When we are bitter, we just block our blessings. When we are bitter, we block our blessings. And I don't mean that in the space of saying that one has to forgive everything. Okay? But the ability to, I keep on seeing that there's a lot of energy right now working on healing. And I keep on seeing that, like, it's giving me a lot of that energy about remembering that bitterness is like, it's a poison cup. Okay? Bitterness is a poison cup, and then you drink it every day, right? Like, it's a poison cup. You drink it every day. It doesn't do anything good. Makes you feel awful. And then you give it to those around you in the and like, you know, it's like, and I keep on seeing that there's a lot of the energy, in separation that is, and I'll put it this way. I'll put it, the way I'm seeing it for the energy in separation is, it's not about being bitter. It's about acknowledging why one holds on to something, right? And that when we're holding on to something that is important, we don't hold on to it because we're bitter about it. We hold on to it because we acknowledge, we honor our pain. I'll put it that way, right? There's a difference. Okay, we talk about this. We talk about the Sacred Heart, right? Why does the Sacred Heart have swords in it? Because a Sacred Heart is not bitter. A Sacred Heart is not a poison cup. A Sacred Heart is a heart that can make room to hold the pain that is necessary, because pain contains wisdom. The pain we experience is wisdom, because wisdom is a painful lesson, right? So being able to be, I see like a lot of this energy in separation is working through lessons of the Sacred Heart, trying to take something that they're holding in a place of bitterness and saying to themselves, help me find a way to carry this, that it does not hurt me, that it heals me. Help me find a way to carry this, that it becomes the lesson. It becomes that valuable force, that I can prevent it from happening again, and I can heal those around me with it. A lot of work we're seeing right now in Chiron, because Chiron is also a lot of work that we experience in relationality to Sacred Heart work, right? So there's a lot of this, it's emotional, you know, and I can see a lot of this energy working through some unconscious feelings. Welcome to Aquarius. Aquarius is all about unconscious emotions that we may be carrying. Being like, why am I getting so emotional about this? And I can hear the higher self going, because you've been carrying this for a really, really, really long time. And if you're carrying it that long, it's because there's something important within it, right? So I just keep on seeing that there's some of this energy working on some work in Chiron right now. It's not about the, like I see this energy almost waiting to come into partnership. This isn't the energy that I told you. It's not about letting go. It's finding a way to carry it that doesn't hurt the self, right? That doesn't hurt those around you along the way. So I just see again that there's a lot of this energy saying the same thing as the energy deep within divine union. And that's the energy in separation that says, I'm a mess. And what is the higher self saying to the energy that says, I'm a mess? Not to me, you aren't. To me, you're a work in progress. And everything I see that you're doing right now is beautiful, right? While for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union, I see that a lot of that energy coming into divine union right now, I told you, it hurts and it heals. It hurts and it heals, right? That's what we call rapture. That's what rapture is. The pain that the pain that is energetic bliss. When we have those moments that feel like I don't have enough room to contain this, that is what energetic rapture is. I don't have the space to hold this. So I see that there's a lot of that energy experiencing that. And it feels profound, right? Because there's a lot of that energy that is feeling both the pain of letting go of what they expected their dream to be while opening their arms to what is ahead of them, right? And that's the energy that says, I don't need to let go of anything. I have room to hold everything. While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into deep within divine union, this is why I keep seeing this energy trying to work through an energetic breakthrough point, right? I see a lot of this energy that's like working through something in such a way and getting mad at themselves in the process. And what are the counterparts saying? They're like, go easy on yourself, right? Take the time you need. Don't remember. Don't hold on so much to what you wish you could change. Remember that if you're holding on to regret, the beauty of reality is the place where we can make all of our regret have meaning, right? Forgiveness comes in the space of reality. Healing, the regret we hold, is always tangible to heal in the moment that we are existing, right? This is how we can heal those spaces. And it's hard work. But that's why I keep seeing that this energy deep within divine union is working through that frustration, because this is the energy that keeps asking themselves and saying, what could I do better? How could I do better? And the counterpart that says back to one another, you already are. Continuing to get clarification between our Ace of Cups in combination with our Nine of Swords in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Pentacles in its upright. Now, there's a lot of this. I want to say that there's a lot of this work that we're seeing right now that, this is, it's everything. The thing about this is we have to talk, it has to do with where Uranus is right now, because it really does feel a little bit like this nails on the chalkboard kind of energy. And so if you're feeling this in a certain way, I want you to hold compassion for how you're feeling. Don't put that force into places that feel like they are creating, that don't feel like they're moving you in the direction that you aspire and desire them to, right? Because for a lot of this energy that I'm seeing right now in separation, this is how we heal. We take that force and we move it into a place of meaning, right? That's why we talk about the fact that a healing journey is not one that you say, "Oh, I'm great now. It's great. I'm healed." I'm healed. What? It's calibration. Healing is calibration, right? We're always calibrating in that way. We don't do it perfectly. And so I see even now, I feel like there's a lot of this energy and separation that is healing by saying, I'm always going to feel this way. Yeah. It's not about feeling different, right? It's not about going back to the way that you felt before something happened. Why would you want to go back before something happened? Everything is like working through that space, right? This is the energy, like in the moment they say, what if I always feel this way? The higher self goes, we do. We just make room for it, right? That's what the higher self is saying to the energy in separation. Yeah, you're always going to feel this way. You're just going to make room for it. There's going to be other things that come in too. A healthy heart is not a heart that stops feeling. A healthy heart is a heart that makes room to feel more stuff, right? So there's a lot of this energy right now. And I kind of see, like, I feel like I see some energy in separation right now, working through that darkness, and they've got someone holding their hand. And I'm telling you right now, the person holding their hand, I can see the energy going, is this my divine counterpart or is this my higher self? And what is the energy saying? Yes. They're saying yes. While for masculine and feminine coming into divine union, I just keep on hearing, I feel like this energy, there you are, and I never could have expected this. There you are, and I never could have expected this. I let go of the dream, and there where the dream was standing before me. I let go, I stopped insisting, and there it was, right? Because when we insist on things, like this is that work, I told you, all this work, letting go of Capricorn, like Pluto and Capricorn into Pluto and Aquarius. Like the universe is always like, I'll tell you right now, the universe loves us. When we insist on something, what does the universe say? If you insist, right? If you want something the way you want it, you can have that manifestation. What's the universe going to say to you? If you insist. It's a shame though, because maybe the universe goes, nope. Like, working in that space, like again, recognizing, right, the difference between the manifestation that we hold on to for the wrong reasons versus what brings us closer to ourselves. The healthy manifestation is not what you get on the other side of it. The good manifestation is being the person that you desire to be on the journey of coming towards it. And so I see even now for a lot of that energy, that recognition, that understanding is where this expansion point is happening. Because that's why that energy says, I didn't let go of anything. I didn't let go of anything. I didn't stop feeling anything for anyone. I just threw my arms open to what is possible. And I let the feeling help me see it. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, this is why this energy feels more frustrating, because this is the energy that feels like they're pounding on the wall of themselves, trying to have a breakthrough, trying to bring an energetic ideal into reality. And it's hard because I keep on hearing that this energy is going new system, trying to find words for feelings that they haven't felt before, healing wounds of intimacy in the process. Continuing to get clarification here between our Nine of Swords in combination with our Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Two of Pentacles in its reversal. It's hard. It's like I told you, this is the thing about it right now. For a lot of the energy deep within divine union, it feels like trying to resolve feelings, right? Trying to take something complicated and bring it into form right now. I see that energy being like, oh, like try, like put, like you, like I'm just like trying to push a lot of energy together, being like, but it's hard, right? Because this is the energy that's like trying to land on an energetic solution in the self over something that may be difficult or may be shameful or maybe something that you've been trying to work through, right? So a lot of that work here, I feel like the beauty about this is, again, finding, and this is I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of this energy, if you're trying to force a breakthrough right now on something, go take a walk. Don't, like, because I'm telling you, when we get so focused here, right, I'm telling you, the breakthrough is sometimes right before us with this type of energy, right? Sometimes we just need to get away from the problem for a minute to feel like that sense of the solution that comes to us. So, and again, especially if you're feeling energetically frustrated in divine union right now, also make sure that you're not inadvertently projecting it out to partner. right? Because I see that that's there a little bit too here. And we want to be very mindful of that as well. Because that sensor space, like I feel like a lot of that energy, like I see a lot of energy within divine union saying, I'm frustrated, not at you. And I see the energy being like, no, I understand, right? Like that's like a lot of that grace that we give each other in healthy partnership, like trying to find productive ways of releasing frustration. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, coming into divine union, I just hear this energy like, I just hear this energy singing like it's ridiculous. Like I hear them being like, "This is amazing." So be like just be like again, find like I keep here like I feel like I just hear that this energy is. I mean, it feels really bittersweet because I keep on seeing this energy being like in the midst. I keep on hearing them go in the midst of this to find this like you know what I mean, like it's a lot of, like this is not where I expected it to be kind of energy, you know what I mean, like it feels out of place, and I see like even that adds to like the wackiness of the enormity of what they're feeling. I told you, warrior energy. While for masculine and feminine energy that is in separation, I keep on hearing that this is the message, the higher self is saying to the energy in separation. You don't need to let go of anything. You just need to find space to carry it. Imagine the solution is not waiting for the day you don't feel like this. The solution is embracing the fact that you may always feel like this, right? This is, I keep on hearing the energy say, this is how we always feel moving forward, but we make room for it, right? Like that's kind of what the higher self says, you know? It's not about going backwards. We never go back to how we feel. We always expand. And so this is the energy that says, you don't, like I can hear this, I can hear the energy saying to their higher self, how do I let go of this? And the higher self says, baby, you don't. You just make more room for it. Continuing to get clarification between our Five of Swords in combination with our King of Pentacles in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now. Page of Pentacles. Here comes all that pentacle energy I was waiting for. Here comes all that pentacle energy. You make room for it, right? You make room for it. Making room. We're making room. There's enough room. There's enough room, right? Is what I keep on hearing. Like I see a lot of this energy in separation. My heart has lots of room. Or the heart that's healing is the heart that learns to grow. When we're in a space of healing, it's not that we stop feeling anything about anyone. We don't let go of the past. Why would you let go of the past? We talk about this all the time. Why would you let go of the past? Why would you want to forget? Why would you want to forget anything that's happened to you? Those are the legs that carried you here. Those are the legs that carried you here. You make more space. You make more room. So I see a lot of this energy that's saying, I have the ability to hold this. I have the ability to hold how I'm feeling, and I've got room to feel this and feel something else in the process. Right? We make space. The heart that grows is the heart that's healing, and it's messy work, right? It's messy. It usually feels more complicated, but that complication is how we can tell that we're moving towards a healthy manifestation, because it doesn't require us to shut down parts of ourselves in the like you don't like what like why would you stop feeling? Why would you ever say the solution is to stop feeling? The solution is never ever to stop feeling. The solution is always to feel more, right? The solution is to feel more and to remember that you can feel this, but you can also feel that. There's enough room. There's always enough room in an open heart. While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union, this is the energy that's going, I found a new, like the energy is going, it's so much bigger in here than I expected, right? Because this is the energy that recognizes and identifies that when we stop focusing on what we expect, when we say, what does the universe say? If you insist, I'll keep your eyes closed. But if you hold on to the things that are important and open your eyes, I will show you things beyond your wildest dreams. If you stop insisting and just concentrate on the things that are important, give me a chance to work with you. Maybe I'm about to show you something that's going to completely blow your mind. And so a lot of that energy is going, well, for masculine and feminine energy that is deep within divine union, I just see a lot of this energy deep within divine union that is getting getting very frustrated. I wish I could tell you, it's more navigating. This is why I hear this energy in divine union saying, help me see, right? But this is the energy that says, help me see to myself. When we're what do we say to ourselves when we're trying to understand or work through a solution, right? We say, help me see, because that's the space of saying, help me understand, what feels like it'll move something in the direction that one ought to move it towards, right? Working in that space. And so I just keep on seeing that a lot of that energy, healing those wounds of intimacy, right? Potentially even articulating and sharing that with counterpart. Those are those energies. When we build and heal in the space of intimacy, we talk about that intimacy because we love the counterpart that helps us see, right? That is the energy I see even now. Look at these energies. Both. And if they're navigating through frustration on the journey, they're like, I'm right there with you every step of the way. I also feel like that. Continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Pentacles in combination with our Two of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Eight of Cups in its reversal. So, working through a lot of this here, I just keep seeing it's very bittersweet energy right now, right? Sweet, bitter, bittersweet. And a lot of that is, and that's why I kept saying, the difficulty with a lot of the Aquarian energy is wanting to just kind of go into an escapist fantasy realm. Be just the desire to disassociate is always very strong. But the thing about it is, I'm kind of getting that a lot of this, this is actually the benefit I'm getting. I'm actually getting the fact that the benefit with Pluto being in Aquarius is you can't escape. You can't escape. Okay, so the thing is, the escapist fantasy realm is not an energetic escape. It doesn't feel like it's if you feel like your escapist fantasy realm isn't hitting the way that it used to, before we moved into Pluto in Aquarius, that's because Pluto's in Aquarius now. Pluto is in the escapist fantasy realm. So it's the brights. You can't disassociate, because the disassociation, it's I see this is the energy that's I couldn't disassociate. Even if you tried to disassociate, you can't disassociate, because I just keep seeing that that's what I meant about some of this. Even when you try to sleep right now, it feels like you're working, because Pluto's in Aquarius now. So it's that sense or space of it requires being able to face things, right? Because, and we talked a lot about this. This is all to do, we got to talk a minute. We're going to talk 1 second. We're going to go back to the work that Aquarians often have to work through, right? Aquarians have this incredible talent of making emotions disappear. We've been talking about this. Aquarians are you want to see a magic trick? You know those feelings? Watch this. You want to see, where'd the feelings go? I don't have any anymore. What are feelings? I can make them disappear, right? Because water bearers, they can absorb the water. Aquarians have an incredible way of, that's why they can be I can make my emotions just like that. Look at that magic trip. And why, this is why Pisces always have an issue with Aquarians in this way. Because Pisces are oh, you've done it. What have you done? You foolish fool, what have you done? You foolish fool, what have you done? Why? Because Pisces know energy cannot be created nor destroyed. You just put the emotions in the most dangerous place possible. You just put them in the unconscious. You didn't make them disappear. They're in that closet of your unconscious. You just put all of the emotions in the thing that runs you. Like that's why the Pisces are like, you foolish fool, what have you done? You put the emotions in the control room. You put the emotions in the control room. You hit the emotions in the control room. Now they're in charge. And that's often what happens, is why sometimes Aquarians have these like breakdowns, right? Because if you put the emotions in the control room, if you put them in the cloud, the emotions that go into the cloud, what happens? You can't control them. You don't have a healthy way of communicating them. They're running everything, and now you can't reach them. They're like gremlins. Like, what have you done? So that space, what does the healthy Pisces learn to do, right? Because if not, what happens when you put too many emotions, when you put the water in the cloud, what happens with the water in the cloud? Downpour, places you don't want it, bad stuff, right? So the healthy Aquarian energy learns that it's not about the way that it's not about looking at emotions like a burden, but putting them in places that matter. Because when we align ideals with emotion, we become impenetrable. We become incredible, right? And so the healthy Aquarian energy learns not to disassociate from the emotions, but they learn to work with the emotions and to put them in the spaces, to allow them to become the fuel for bringing their ideals into reality, right? So a lot of that work we're kind of experiencing right now across all of the frequencies. But again, it's having to navigate the frustration and saying that I told you, the indulgence of this new moon, which is, wouldn't it just be easier if I just turned this off and didn't think about it? Yeah, I'm sure it would. Wouldn't do anything. Why are you here? Right? No. We don't. Right? We're not here to learn. We're not here to learn to turn things off. Well, sometimes we're here to learn. Everything we're given is a gift. So if you're feeling that right now, I don't want you to say, how do I stop feeling this? I want you to say to yourself, how can I use this in a way that feels like it moves me towards my manifestation? How can I take this and put this in a place that it feels like it helps? Right? And that's happening across all of the frequencies. That is how we heal. Continuing our final card between our Page of Pentacles in combination with our Ace of Cups in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Knight of Swords. And this is the hurdle, man. This is the thing. Listen, I'm just going to point this out. If you're feeling like you're on a roller coaster ride right now, all of this is happening in the midst of a Mars retrograde. And what is the lesson that's coming through right now in the Mars retrograde? Confidence is on vacation. Aries went on a little trip and they took all the confidence with him. And Aries ain't coming back until February 23rd. Okay? So what we are effectively identifying here is, again, remembering confidence and courage. Okay, here we go. Look, confidence and courage are cousins, okay? They look a lot alike. It's very easy to confuse them. They're never in the same place. They're never in the same place because you don't need courage when you have confidence. Courage is what you embody when you don't have surety. So that space of working through that, remembering that often when we have courage, having courage usually feels like you're a mess. Having courage usually feels like you're stepping into the breach. It feels like you're navigating uncertainty. Courage, you never have courage when you have confidence. You don't need it. And often, the energy that looks courageous is really just confident, right? And the energy that is truly courageous is the energy that pushes towards their fear, right? That remembering that and embody that right now. So if you're feeling uncertainty, hold that in a space and say, maybe this is what courage feels like, right? Because I can tell you right now, if you're saying, I'm not sure, but I'm moving in that direction because I know what's best for me, congratulations. That is courage. That feeling you're experiencing, that is what courage feels like. Congratulations. Bottom of the deck on today's reading, particularly with the Eight of Swords in its reversal. A lot of this, like, I'm going to say it again. This is just going to be your daily reminder. There's like the thing with some of this Uranus energy is like, it would feel so good. Like, it's like we got to talk about it. Like when someone's annoying you, we're just going to go through this. When someone's annoying you, it feels so good to annoy back, right? It feels so good to just, they're just walking into it. It's like, I told you, it's like, it's a lot of this, like, it would be so easy to pull that thread. It would be so easy to just, bing, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, and listen to me across all of the frequencies right now, okay? If someone is trying to provoke you, don't indulge them by matching energy. Because when we come into a space that we say, no matter if we're provoked, we can do anything, then we look for provocation points, right? We look for those spaces that move us off of our path work, right? So if you're feeling that from someone right now across any of the frequencies, because it's very easy. I'm going to tell you right now, we've got all of this like Aquarian energy right now. The ability to project is profound, right? It's so much easier to want to point a finger. It's really easy to try to push something away from the self. Remember, don't let others like pushing you move you off of your own energetic integrity, right? Because when we navigate that space, right? When we say, oh, like, you like, I can do anything now because you did this, like, this is what moves us away from our aspirations, right? Because it's like a grappling match. It's like who goes lowest, right? Don't let someone come into that space. And again, if someone's in that way, if they're coming towards you in a way that doesn't make sense, ask the question. Don't just match them in their lack of sense, right? Because I'll tell you right now, this type of energy is beautiful for things coming together, for breaking ground, for new ideas, but it can just as easily move you like 10 steps back if you allow someone to bring you into a space of being like, oh, look, you know what I mean? Just recognize that. Don't. And if you're having uncertainty as to why you're holding on to something, like why something is of value to you, I want you to remember the difference between, again, what does the ego say? Why am I holding on to this? Why is it important? Because it has to be that way. Why? Because I said so. Why? Because is not a reason, right? The higher self can always explain. The higher self always explains. And I'll tell you right now, the higher self never says, I'm afraid. The ego will always have a reason that says, I'm afraid of it being different. And the higher self always says, this is why, this is the reason, because it's important, because it means something fundamental and important. So let that sense of self guide you, even if you're navigating that uncertainty as to what you're holding on to. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do so on my website. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading on my website, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website, so I encourage you to do it there. Also, a couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the Hermit card. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, February 19th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Wheel of Fortune card. I am so excited to teach this class. It might have to be two classes because there's a lot to go over. We are going to be focusing on the symbology of that card, the history of the card. I'm going to work you through the applications as to how you can read that card in any direction in your own spread. I'm also going to be showing you a unique spread that helps you channel the messages of the Wheel of Fortune into your own readings. And all you need to do if you would like to become a part of that class program is become a paid subscriber to my Substack. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also have access as a monthly subscriber to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we have studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you will also receive a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, wherein I will assess where you are on your personal tarot church journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes most effective going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or robust experience prevent you from joining our classes. You'll also, again, even if you don't and if you are a subscriber to my clock app or on the place where we keep the videos, make sure that you head over to our subscriber only Discord channel. Go ahead and introduce yourself, because there you will also find a special coupon code in the perks section that will give you an additional discount to that Substack subscription. Even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings, services. I post my weekly newsletter there, which will give you insights into my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. And I also want to let you guys know that and please as well, if you're going to join me across the social channels, I would encourage you to do so. The world is wacky right now. I want to make sure you guys know where to find me. But if you're going to follow me across the other channels, please make sure you do so via my tree that has links in it, as I am aware that there's a lot of accounts that pretend to be me. Finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my clients that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal path work as well as their spiritual goals. These classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to offer now dream interpretation readings. Those can be purchased on an individual level, or if you'd like to move deeper into studying your dreams, you can purchase a dream reading package. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly. I simply ask if you purchase that package to make sure that you start keeping a dream journal, as we will meet, and each time we meet, we will review your dreams and utilize the tarot to understand the key lessons that are coming through the tarot, coming through the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.